Well, good evening. Good evening. My name is Willie Lawson, and this is the NCAA Scoreboard football scoreboard. This show is brought to you by the great folks at newhomestampabay.com, and we hope that you are ready for what has really been a absolutely amazing and fantastic wild weekend in NCAA and NCAA football. So we're going to bring you some scores. We're going to bring you as many scores as we can get a hold of. Updates if you're listening, and you know what, or you can't find the score because of whatever reason. We've got them all. We have got them all. Don't worry about where I got them from. I got them all. We're going to start off with some. We're going to start off with a blowout right now. It is Missouri State 7, Arkansas State 70, with 1:10 to go in the fourth quarter. Colorado and Colorado State are meeting early. Colorado 24, Colorado State 17 with 8:50 to go in the fourth quarter. It is Southern Mississippi 49, Texas State 35. It is Murray State 13, Western Michigan 52. With 7:58 to go in the fourth quarter. And with 5:04 left to go in the fourth quarter, it is Western Carolina 10, the Vols from Tennessee 55, as the Vols have their way with the Catamounts of Western Carolina. It is with 4 minutes and 30 seconds to go in the fourth. It is Texas Tech 35, Arkansas 24. Arkansas is having trouble shaking it off. And they're under a weather delay, and Kentucky gets Florida leading the Kentucky Wildcats 14-3 as Florida opens up the SEC schedule. And in Texas, it is the California Bears 31, the Texas Longhorns 24 with 10:10 to go in the third quarter. It is UTEP 9, New Mexico State 16 with 11:37 to go in the third. It's Tulane 24, Maine 7. And as we get an update, we want to make sure that you understand that this show is brought to you by the fantastic folks at New Homes Tampa Bay. You can get to their website by going to newhomestpa.com. What they do is get people into new construction homes, whether those are homes that are being built from scratch or inventory homes. If you're wary about the process, give Gary a call at 813-770-9452. That's 813-770-9452. Don't worry if you didn't catch the number. You can send me an email at wls860@gmail.com, or I'll repeat it later. Or you can go to the website, newhomestpa.com. All right, we have an update. It is Tulane, the Tulane Green Wave 24, Maine 7 with 13:10 to go in the third. It is Penn State over Rutgers 21-0 with 13:30 to go in the third. Toledo, who upset Arkansas last week, struggling in a manner with Iowa State 13-10. It is Iowa 17, Pitt 10 with 9:40 to go in the third. It is Stanford upsetting 6th-ranked USC 24-21 in the Coliseum. Let's see, it is Washington State 21, Wyoming 14 with 11 seconds to go in the first half of that game. And a game that I'm sure a lot of people are watching, it is the Ole Miss-Alabama game. 15th-ranked Ole Miss is leading 2nd-ranked Alabama 3-0 at the very end of the first quarter. It is at halftime. San Diego State 17, South Alabama 10, third-ranked TCU 28, SMU Mustang 17 at the halftime. And we're getting a computer update. You got to love that. And it is Washington State 21, Wyoming 14. That's also at half. There are games on the West Coast that have not started yet. It is the 21st ranked Utah Utes at Fresno State, starting at 10:30 Eastern Standard Time, and then it's BYU Cougars at the UCLA Bruins, number 19 versus number 10, at 10:30 Eastern Standard Time, and starting at 11, it is Northern Arizona at the 20th ranked Arizona Wildcats. What the Wildcats are 34.5-point favorites. That should be interesting, but you'll be long in your Betty by the time that game is completed if you're here on the East Coast. As it's UC Davis visiting Hawaii at 11:59. So that game starts at midnight Eastern Standard Time. All right, but we have we do have finals. It was Akron, the Akron Zips 52, Savannah State 9. It was Wake Forest from the ACC over Army 17-14. Buffalo over Florida Atlantic 33-15. It was Maryland from the ACC giving South Florida another ACC loss 35-17. Michigan over UNLV 28-7. It was fourth ranked Michigan State 35. The Air Force 21. North Carolina, no trouble with Illinois, 48-14. It was Minnesota, the Golden Gophers 10, Kent State 7. 22-ranked Missouri 9-6 over UConn over Connecticut. The 16th-ranked Oklahoma Sooners 52, Tulsa 38. And there's another update for our computer. I love that. It was 17th ranked Texas A&M 44, Nevada 27. 23rd ranked Northwestern 19, Duke 10. It was in overtime. It was Syracuse 30, Central Michigan 27, Ohio 35, Southeast Louisiana 14, 12th ranked Oregon, no problem with Georgia State 61-28. It was Rice over North Texas 38-24. Bowling Green loses to Memphis 44-41. It was Ball State 28, Eastern Michigan 17. Temple 2 points better than Massachusetts 25-23, and in triple overtime it was Kansas State getting by Louisiana Tech 39-33. Miami of Ohio loses to Cincinnati by 4, 37-33. 25th ranked Oklahoma State, no problem with Texas at San Antonio, 69-14. And another blowout, Marshall over Norfolk State, 45-7. And in a game a lot of people watched, it was in a game that used to mean a whole lot. And frankly, I think a game that used to mean a whole lot that frankly doesn't mean much now. But it was sure fun to watch. It was University of Miami 36, the University of Nebraska 33 in overtime. But that doesn't tell the story. Nebraska outscored Miami 23-3 in the fourth quarter to tie that ball game. At the end of the third quarter, Miami led 23-10 and had to win it in overtime. That makes them 3-0 and in first place in the ACC Coastal. Nebraska is 1-2 and in sixth place in the Big Ten West. All right. Again, this show is brought to you by our friends at New Homes Tampa Bay. If you're looking for a brand new home, whether it be new construction from the ground up or a builder's inventory home, you do not want to get into that process without an advocate. And the advocate that I suggest you get is New Homes of Tampa Bay. Why? Because they walk you through every aspect of the process, because there's so much to know. And the people who have the information, frankly, have an ulterior motive. They want to sell you a house. And not that they won't be honest, not that they won't be open, not that they won't be forthcoming, but you have to remember, they're not your advocate. New Homes of Tampa Bay is your advocate. They walk you through the entire process from the pre-qualifying for the mortgage all the way through to when they hand you your keys. When they hand you your keys to your brand new home. So you don't want to miss out. You can go to their website and check out some of the great work they've already done for folks at newhomestpa.com. That's newhomestpa.com. And in a game that we really worried about, this is sort of reminds me Florida State last year. Number one ranked Ohio State struggles the entire game with Northern Illinois, the Huskies of Northern Illinois. They finally win 20-13 after there was an interception that was run back for a touchdown for Ohio State that gave them their final lead. Northern Illinois had a field goal late, and the final score is Ohio State 20, Northern Illinois 13. It was Virginia Tech 51, Purdue 24. Virginia from the ACC over William & Mary 35-29. It was 13th ranked LSU all over 18th ranked Auburn 45-21 in Death Valley. It was 24th ranked Wisconsin. No problem with Troy, 28-3. It was Navy over the East Carolina Pirates, 45-21, and in a really good game that you probably just finished watching. It was Notre Dame 30, the 14th ranked Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets 22. Let's see, Indiana 35, Indiana 38, Western Kentucky 35, Mississippi State 62, Northwestern State 13. It was the Commodores of Vanderbilt 47, Austin Peay 7, Washington 31, Utah State 17. It was Idaho 41, Wofford 38. Georgia Southern over the Citadel 48-13. UCF goes down to Furman 16-15. It was FIU over North Carolina Central 39-14. Number 7th ranked Georgia, no problem with the old ball coach at South Carolina, 52-20. Arkansas State 70, Missouri State 7. It was Old Dominion losing to North Carolina State 38-14. Tennessee, no problem with Western Carolina. We read that before. 55-10. It was Middle Tennessee 73, Charlotte 14. And yesterday, there were a couple of games yesterday. That's right, on Friday. That's kind of weird. That's kind of threw me and kind of made my weekend weird, really. It was Florida State over Boston College, and I'll tell you what, the score is only 14-0, but Florida State's defense looks great. It looks like their offense still is a little sputtery, but their defense looked great. And also on Friday, it was Boise State, no problem with Idaho State, 52-0. Then it was Arizona State 34, New Mexico 10. And there was a game on Thursday. It was number 11th ranked Clemson 20, Louisville 17. Gave them everything they wanted and more. All right, we're going to take a little break, and then we're going to get back and give you an update for the from the Ole Miss Alabama game. Ole Miss is ranked 15th. Alabama is ranked number 2 in the country. And with a chance, frankly, after the Ohio State performance, to move into number 1. So we're going to take a little break. We'll be back right after this break. Well, hello. My name is Willie Lawson, host of the Willie Lawson Show here on Blog Talk Radio. If I may, I'd like to take a time out and talk to you about some great folks. One of our affiliate partners, New Homes of Tampa Bay. New Homes of Tampa Bay is a special company with special people with a special mission. That mission is to get you, the new construction home buyer, through the process in the best possible condition. What they do is walk you through the process from beginning to end at no cost to you. And they even have something special for you if they let them help you through the process. What they'll do at the end of the process is slide across the table a $1,000 gift card for either Lowe's, Home Depot, or IKEA to start you in your new home. This offer is only good for listeners of the Willie Lawson Show here on Blog Talk Radio or iHeartRadio or Spreaker. You can talk to the great folks at New Homes of Tampa Bay by calling 813-770-9452. That's 813-770-9452. Or you can reach them online at newhomestpa.com. That's www.newhomestpa.com. All right, welcome back to the NCAA football scoreboard here on Spreaker.com. My name is Willie Lawson, and I'm the host of the Willie Lawson Show on Blog Talk Radio here on Spreaker. We do a sports show on Sunday during football season, and we also do the Not Quite Midnight Jazz Show on Sunday evening. So make sure that if you're a jazz aficionado, that you listen to the Not Quite Midnight Jazz Show here on Spreaker.com. It has been a full day a fabulously full day of NCAA football. And right now, if you are, for some reason, you can't get next to a TV and you can't get an update, the score of the Mississippi, the Alabama game, Ole Miss Alabama game, is tied at 3 with 11:03 to go in the second. So it is going to be it looks like it is going to be down to the wire in this game. Listen, we're going to give you some updates of some other games. Some of them are played. Some of them are being played right now. And some of them were played Friday and Thursday. I know, Friday. Friday was just weird. Florida State played Friday, and it just threw my whole schedule off. I left work today thinking, what do I do now? Do I go home? Do I watch football? What do I do? And it was really it was really sort of a mess for me mentally to think about. Well, wait a minute. Did they play? Did they have an off week? No, and next week they have an off week. So it's one more day without Florida State football for me, and that's not so good. All right, let's start with third-ranked TCU 35, SMU 17. We have in the third quarter with 9:30 to go in the third quarter, we have USC 28, Stanford 24, and we just gave you the Ole Miss Alabama score. It's knotted up 3-all with 10 minutes and 51 seconds to go in the second quarter. That game, the BYU game hasn't started yet. Let's see if we can get some more updates of. There you go. Waiting for the computer to do what it's supposed to do. It was Michigan State 35, the Air Force 21. It was Oklahoma over Tulsa 52-38. Texas A&M 44, Nevada 27. Missouri 9. Missouri 9, Connecticut 6. It was Northwestern 19, Duke 10, Oregon 61 to 28 over Georgia State. It was Ohio State struggling to pretty much the end of the game with Northern Illinois University, the Huskies 20-13. Notre Dame 30, Georgia Tech 22, and it was LSU all over Auburn 45-21. Wisconsin no problem with Troy 28-3. Oklahoma State 69. University of Texas San Antonio 14. Georgia had their way with the old ball coach 52-20. Georgia wins over South Carolina. Fantastic week in football. It is really, really fabulous. You know, it's interesting. It is really interesting how this is all going to, frankly, play out. How is this going to play out in the rankings? And we're going to get to the rankings, and there you go, and let you know where things stand now. Because with Ohio State's performance, you would think that there's got to be some change in the rankings. Will it be enough to knock Ohio State off the top perch? Right now, Ohio State leads in both the AP Top 25 and the coaches poll. Let's see here how this is going to play out. We're going to start from the bottom of the AP poll. Is number 25th ranked Oklahoma State at 25. At 24 is Wisconsin. 23 is Northwestern. 22 is Missouri. 21 is Utah. 20 is Arizona. Number 19 is BYU. Number 18 is Auburn. They're sure to drop. They're going to be 2-1, but they really had their heads handed to them today. At number 17 in the AP is Texas A&M. Number 16th ranked is Oklahoma. Ole Miss is 15th, and we'll see how that works out at the end of today. They're tied with the second-ranked Alabama, 3-all. So we'll see how that works out. Georgia Tech is at 14. They'll drop LSU as number 13. They'll probably get a boost. Although Auburn was who they crushed was ranked lower than they were. But when anytime you have that level of matchup, you ought to get a boost for winning. That's for sure. Oregon, no problem with very much a lesser talent, and Oregon at 1-1, highly ranked at 1-1. And I think I think it's the Mariota effect. But they're still ranked 11th with a loss. They're ranked over all the other teams I mentioned, and all the way down to 23. Northwestern is also undefeated at 23. Wisconsin is at 24, and they have one loss. They have the very same record as number 12th ranked Oregon. Oregon is right at 12. At number 11 is Clemson. At number 10, UCLA. Number 9 in the AP is Florida State. Number 8 is Notre Dame. Number 7 is Georgia, who had a great win over South Carolina today, although South Carolina is unranked. We have number 6, USC. Number 5, the Baylor Bears. Number 4, Michigan State. Number 3, the TCU Horned Frogs. And number 2, Alabama. And number 1 in the AP poll is the Ohio State Buckeyes with 59 first place votes. I just don't think that's going to happen after their rather lackluster appearance in their game today. And after we get back from this break, we're going to go through the coaches poll. A lot of it will be the same. There's only a few differences, but it ought to be interesting how things play out after today's game. We'll be back right after these messages from my friends at New Homes, Tampa Bay. Well, hello. My name is Willie Lawson, host of the Willie Lawson Show here on Blog Talk Radio. If I may, I'd like to take a time out and talk to you about some great folks. One of our affiliate partners, New Homes of Tampa Bay. New Homes of Tampa Bay is a special company with special people with a special mission. That mission is to get you, the new construction home buyer, through the process in the best possible condition. What they do is walk you through the process from beginning to end at no cost to you. And they even have something special for you if they let them help you through the process. What they'll do at the end of the process is slide across the table a $1,000 gift card for either Lowe's, Home Depot, or IKEA to start you in your new home. This offer is only good for listeners of the Willie Lawson Show here on Blog Talk Radio or iHeartRadio or Spreaker. You can talk to the great folks at New Homes of Tampa Bay by calling 813-770-9452. That's 813-770-9452. Or you can reach them online at newhomestpa.com. That's www.newhomestpa.com. All right, welcome back to the NCAA football scoreboard. My name is Willie Lawson. It has been and continues to be a pretty wild weekend in the NCAA. It just don't get more fun than this. That is for sure. it just is just a boatload of fun. We're going to hit some scores, and then we're going to go back and tell you what the coaches poll says right now. It's going to change. It's got to change. Let's see. Right now, with a minute and 2 seconds to go in the fourth quarter, it's Colorado and Colorado State all tied up at 24 all. With 2 minutes to go, basically in the fourth quarter. Southern Mississippi 56, Texas State 42. They restarted the game at Kentucky. It's Florida 14, Kentucky Wildcats 9, 8:35 to go in the fourth quarter. That game's going to be over soon. Let's see. We have California over Texas right now, 38-24, with 1:48 to go in the third, and with 5:32 to go in the third is New Mexico State over UTEP, 23-16. With 5:50 to go in the third, South Alabama and San Diego State are all tied up at 17 all. With 5:43 to go in the third, it's the Tulane Green Wave 31 and Maine 7. It's Penn State 21. Rutgers yet to score with 5:24 to go in the third. Also in the third, midway through the third quarter, it is Toledo 20, Iowa State 10. Another tie right now with about a minute and a half to go in the third quarter. It's Pittsburgh and Iowa all tied up at 17. The third-ranked TCU Horned Frogs right now leading SMU 42-17 midway through the third period. Oregon State is losing to San Jose State 21-14 with 8:32 to go in the third. With 6:22 to go in the third, it is USC 28, Stanford 24. Looks like Stanford's second and goal, getting ready to go in and score. Right now, Ole Miss is taking the lead from Alabama. It's 10-3. It was knotted up 3-all just a few minutes ago, right before the break, with 7:30 to go. Actually, exactly midway in the second quarter. And at halftime, it's Washington State 21 and Wyoming 14. Let's go to the coaches poll. We read off the AP poll before. Let's go to the coaches poll, starting at number 25. Number 25 is Oklahoma State. 24 is Northwestern. 23, Wisconsin at 1-1, and at 2-0, BYU at 22. With a record of 2-0, it's Utah Utes at 21. The 20th spot is held by the Missouri Tigers, also undefeated at this point. The Arizona Wildcats are at number 19, also undefeated. Texas A&M at number 18. Oklahoma at number 17. Number 16 is Georgia Tech. Number 15th, and probably going to fall from number 15th, is Auburn. And number 14, LSU in the coaches poll. So that should be interesting. That should really give LSU a boost, because LSU beat the crap out of Auburn today. And in the 13th spot is Oregon in the 13th spot, in the 11th spot in the AP poll, but in the coaches poll, they're in the 13th spot with a 1-1 record. In the 12th spot is UCLA, and then number 11, Ole Miss. At number 10, it's Notre Dame. Number 9, Clemson. In the coaches poll. Number 8, Georgia. Number 7, USC, the Trojans. Number 6, Florida State. Number 5, Baylor. Number 4, Michigan State. Number 3, TCU. Number 2, Alabama. And number 1, Ohio State. It'll be interesting to see if Ohio State falls a little bit anyway, because of their performance today. Barely getting by a Northern Illinois Huskies. It again, and they had 5 turnovers. Well, you know that you just have better athletes than somebody else. If you're able to survive 5 turnovers, both quarterbacks, I think, had both quarterbacks had interceptions, and that was, and some people say that's part of the problem, but I don't think so really. But they used both their quarterbacks, JT Barrett and the other guy. So we'll see how that works out. Let's see if we can bring in some more scores. With 7:45 to go in the third, it's TCU 42, SMU 17. Also in the third quarter, USC 28, Stanford 31. They just scored. We just talked about them, and they just scored. Ole Miss and Alabama. Ole Miss 10, Alabama 3, and that's halfway through the second quarter. And a couple of these in a row are finals. It's Missouri 9, Connecticut 6. It was Texas A&M 44, Nevada 27, Oklahoma 52, Tulsa 38, Michigan State 35, Air Force 21. It was Northwestern over Duke 19-10 in Durham. Georgia State loses badly to Oregon 61-28. It was LSU all over Auburn 45-21. Ohio State again gets by Northern Illinois 20-13, and it was Wisconsin over Troy 28-3. Oklahoma State 69, Texas San Antonio 14, Notre Dame 30. Georgia Tech, although scoring 15 points in the fourth quarter, come up short. It was Notre Dame 30, Georgia Tech 22. It was Georgia 52, South Carolina 20. And some games that haven't started yet. If you're wondering what the score is, well, they haven't started yet. At 10:30, this game should have just gotten started. UCLA, it is BYU travels to UCLA. Utah travels to Fresno State. Northern Arizona travels south to Arizona. And those games start at 10:30, and 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, respectively. Games that were played on Thursday, it was Clemson, number 11th ranked Clemson 20, Louisville 17, giving the Tigers and Dabo Swinney everything they want. And it was Florida State with a fantastic defensive performance, 14, Boston College nothing. And this show is brought to you by my friends and your friends at New Homes of Tampa Bay. If you're looking for a new home, if you're looking for a brand new home, when I say brand new home, when I say new home, not a new to you home, a brand new home, where if there's carpet in there, there's nobody else's stinky foot juice in there, nobody has taken a bath in that bathtub, nobody has sat on that toilet, nobody has taken a shower in that shower. It's all you. Nobody has cleaned their anchovies on the kitchen counter. It's all you. Nobody has had bad beer in that refrigerator. It's all you. You can put your stank on it, so to speak. If that's the kind of house you want, you don't want to get into that process without my friend Gary. You just don't want to get into that process because it's a process, frankly, that you need to know a lot. And the people who have all the information have an ulterior motive. They're trying to sell you a house. Not that the folks that we deal with, frankly, are going to lie to you, because they're not. Most builders are honest people, honorable folks. But salespeople do have quotas. Or they don't get, and salespeople in real estate get paid by commission. And what that means is simply the more they sell, and the more they sell it for, the more money they make. It's a miracle. It's a miracle. And that's how we do it in America. And that's perfectly okay. So knowing that, I mean, and we know that full well, it is smart. It is stupid, frankly, to do it in any other way, not to have an advocate, somebody on your side who can say, you know what? Here's the pitfalls of what they're trying to do. Here's the pitfalls of what you're thinking. Why don't we try it this way? We've been real successful this way, and that's what you want. You want somebody to walk you through the minefield. The minefield is out there. The minefield is full of things that get promised that don't get delivered. your wants and desires that may not work out for you, that may blow up in your face, and just a whole bunch of stuff. Unless you bought a new home, you just don't know to even ask. You know, have you ever been in a situation where you've been ignorant? Well, you just didn't know what to ask. Well, guess what? The folks at New Homes of Tampa Bay, they aren't ignorant. They know exactly what to ask, and they know exactly what the answer should be. So you want to call them. If you're thinking about going out tomorrow and maybe going to some model homes in the, in the Bay Area, there's a better than not chance that we work with those builders. So when you get up, go to newhomestpa.com and fill out the contact information, and somebody will get a hold of you and walk you through this process. Go and look. Don't talk to anybody until you've talked to my friend Gary or one of his associates at New Homes Tampa Bay. Don't talk to anybody. I'm serious. Do not talk to anybody. Definitely don't sign any paperwork. That's for sure. Because if you don't have help in what will be the biggest purchase of your life, then you're just not very smart. Be smart. Do things the right way. All right, listen, we're going to give you some score updates right now. It's TCU 42, SMU 24, 6 minutes, 9 seconds to go in the third. It is USC 20, Stanford 31, USC 28. And Stanford is got the ball and they're driving. It's 3rd and 5 at the USC 41-yard line. Kevin Hodges from Stanford is leading all passers with 15 of 20 for 235 yards and a couple of touchdowns. Christian McCaffrey from Stanford is also leading all rushers with 17 carries for 76 yards. And Juju Smith from USC is leading all receivers with 4 catches for 103 yards and a score. And Stanford seems to be driving. Right now, Stanford is 1-1 in the conference. USC, ranked 6th in the country, is undefeated and no conference play yet. So it ought to be. I mean, this should come down. You know what? This should come down to the end of the game. Stanford's always tough, and Stanford's always tough against USC. So this should be good stuff. Golly, all those smart guys at Stanford too. Right now, Ole Miss is leading Alabama with 6:43 to go in the second, 17-3. Alabama has the ball. This 1st and 10 on the Alabama 25-yard line. Cooper Bateman from Alabama is leading all passers, but he's 11 for 14. 87 yards and an interception. It's Derrick Henry from Alabama leading all rushers, 11 carries, 39 yards, and leading all receivers is O.J. Howard, 2 receptions for 35 yards. But Ole Miss right now is leading 17-3 over 2nd-ranked Alabama. Top teams having their struggles today. And the game at UCLA has started. BYU and UCLA is all tied up with 13:30 to go in the first quarter. It's a final. Missouri 9, Connecticut 6. Top passer is Bryant Sheriff from Connecticut, 17 of 26 for 156 yards. Top rusher is Ish Witter from Missouri, 17 carries for 54 yards. And the top receiver was Noel Thomas, 7 catches for 86 yards for Connecticut. It's a final. 17th ranked Texas A&M 44, Nevada 27, 16th ranked Oklahoma 52, Tulsa 38. It was Michigan State 35, the Air Force 21. 23rd ranked Northwestern over Duke in Durham 19-10. 12th ranked Oregon 61, Georgia State 28. It was 13th ranked LSU over 18th ranked Auburn, 45 to 21 in an SEC struggle. Top passer was Jeremy Johnson from Auburn, 11 for 19 for 100 yards and 2 touchdowns. Top rusher was Leonard Fournette from LSU, 19 carries, 228 yards and 3 touchdowns. Did you hear me? 228 yards and 3 touchdowns. 19 carries, 228 yards, 3 touchdowns. Wow. The top receiver, Rock Thomas from Auburn, two catches for 36 yards. Wow. That is crazy. That guy from LSU is a force, and LSU is a force. They are back this season to make some noise in the SEC. Ohio State struggles and struggles and struggles. They get by Northern Illinois because they've got better talent. They've got better athletes. 20-13 late. JT Barrett led all passers for Ohio State, 11 of 19 for 97 yards and a touchdown. Top rusher was Ezekiel Elliott from Ohio State, 23 carries for 108 yards, and the top receiver was Michael Thomas from Ohio State, 3 catches, 60 yards, and a touchdown. The Ohio State's other touchdown was an interception return, pick 6 back in the third quarter. After it was a back and forth takeaway giveaway, Ohio State throws an interception. And the first play of the next drive for Northern Illinois, they throw an interception that gets run back for a score. It was 24th ranked Wisconsin 28, Troy 3, 25th ranked Oklahoma State 69, Texas of San Antonio 14, Notre Dame 30, Georgia Tech 22. It was 7th ranked Georgia all over South Carolina 52 to 20, and with 14:05 to go in the first quarter, Fresno State strikes first over Utah 3-0 with a field goal. The game that starts next is the Northern Arizona game at Arizona. I think the last game of the night is the Hawaii game. That starts at midnight. Wow, midnight. That's crazy. That game starts at midnight here on the East Coast. And last night it was Florida State 14, Boston College 0, and an incredible defensive struggle. Top passes was Everett Golston, transfer from Notre Dame, who was 15 for 24, 119 yards and a touchdown, kind of pedestrian. And the leading rusher, although this was a huge drop from his performance last week, was Dalvin Cook, Florida State, 15 carries, 54 yards, as opposed to the 226 yards he ran last week against USF. Kermit Whitfield had 4 catches for 52 yards for Florida State. And there we are. Thank you again for tuning in to our NCAA football scoreboard here on Spreaker, sponsored by our great friends at New Homes of Tampa Bay. New Homes Tampa Bay. If you're going to buy a new home, not just a new to you home, but a brand new home, and you don't get Gary, my friend, or one of his associates to help you, well, you're an idiot. I don't know how much business you get by calling people idiots, but yeah, but here's the deal: you just don't want to do it that way. Then you just don't want to do it that way, because as smart as you are, you don't know everything about this. And I think that we have to understand that sometimes that that we're bright, that because of Al Gore and the advent of the internet, we do our research, but there is stuff that I'm pretty sure that you don't know to ask. Think about this. How much do you know about insulation? How much do you know about the correct installation of insulation? Yeah, me either. You know what though? if you let the folks at New Homes of Tampa Bay help you, they will put a certified home inspector on your deal while your home is being constructed. Most of the times, if you buy a home and get a home inspector, the cost is on you, and it's too late because the home is already built. If you could have somebody, an advocate on your side, watching things as the home is being built on your behalf and not the builder's behalf, what's that worth to you? It's worth thousands potentially. Imagine in the state of Florida if people had advocates like that while some of these Chinese drywall houses were being built. Imagine the savings. Imagine the saving of heartache. And now a lot of those folks have houses that they're stuck with, that there's nothing they can do with. Imagine if they had had somebody on their side. You can have somebody on your side. All you have to do is go to newhomestpa.com. Newhomestpa.com. Fill out the little form. Gary will give you a call on Monday. Walk you through the whole process. Tell you all they have to offer. They've even got a deal for you if you don't use them. A deal that'll put money in your pocket. I know it sounds nutty, but it's true. Doesn't cost you anything to give them a call. 813-770-9452. 813-770-9452. See, I was listening to this show on Spreaker.com. This guy named Willie kept talking about you, and he'll help you. I promise you. I promise you. All right, we're going to go back and update and update some scores, because that's what we're here to do. That is what we're here to do. And thank you and the great folks at ESPN for helping us get through these scores. Let's see here. With 3 minutes and 15 seconds to go in the third quarter, it is TCU 42, SMU, which is making a comeback, 31. 11:55 in the fourth quarter. It is 31-28. Stanford over USC. Ole Miss leading Alabama 17-3 with 2:51 to go in the second. All tied up 0-0 with 9:58 in the first. BYU and at UCLA with 14:05 to go in the first. It's Fresno State 3. It's number 21 ranked Utah yet to score. It's a final. Missouri 9, Connecticut 6. It's a final. Texas A&M 44, Nevada 27. It's a final. Oklahoma 52, Tulsa 38. It's a final. Michigan State 35, Air Force 21. It's a final. Northwestern 19, Duke 10 in Durham. It's a final. 12th ranked Oregon 61, Georgia State 28. It's a final. 13th ranked LSU 45, 18th ranked Auburn 21. It's a final. Ohio, number 1 ranked Ohio State struggles mightily against Northern Illinois and wins 20-13. It's a final. 24th ranked Wisconsin 28, Troy 3. It's a final. 25th ranked Oklahoma State 69, Texas of San Antonio 14. It's a final. Notre Dame 30, Georgia Tech 22. It's a final. 7th ranked Georgia all over the old ball coach in South Carolina 52-20. One more game to start. Northern Arizona and Arizona start at 11 o'clock. And they start in about 9 minutes our time. It's a final on Thursday. It was 11th ranked Clemson 20, Louisville 17, and yesterday it's a final. 9th ranked Florida State in a defensive struggle, a fantastic defensive performance by Florida State, 14-0 over Boston College. We appreciate you being here this evening for this update, and We hope to do this every week. And if you like it, you think that we should, please send me an email at WLS860@gmail.com. That's WLS860@gmail.com. And let us know if you want to hear other scores. Let us know if you want us to do this at different times. If you're interested in the Premier League, or if you're interested in the BMW Championship, or you're interested in what's going on in Major League Baseball. Well, right now, let's run through some of the scores of Major League Baseball. At the top of the ninth, it is the Houston Astros 10, the Oakland Athletics 6. The bottom of the eighth, it is the Texas Rangers 8, Seattle 1. In the top of the seventh, it is Pittsburgh over the Dodgers 2-1. It's a final. It's which Chicago is that? I can't tell. I think it's the White Sox. I'm having trouble seeing the symbols. Sorry. Oh, it's the Cubs. That's who it was. Today, Joe Madden's Cubs, and my computer's resetting. We'll get back to that in just a second. We'll give you the score of the Cubs game. Maybe we will. Maybe we won't. There it is. There it is. I keep saying that. Yes, it was the Cubs 5 and St. Louis 4 after the battle they had yesterday, where one of the St. Louis players was bonked in the head. Now, it's interesting. You knew it was a mistake because if you watch the video, you see the Cubs catcher jump up to make sure that the batter was okay. That's how you knew it was a mistake. You're like, holy crap. And another mistake happened later on. A Chicago batter was hit, and it sort of caused a ruckus. But anyway, tonight, no ruckus. The Cubs over the Cardinals 5-4. It was and in the Subway Series, it was the Yankees 5, the Mets 0. The L.A. Angels of Anaheim 4, the Minnesota Twins 3, the Arizona over San Francisco 6-0, Chicago White Sox 4, Cleveland Indians 3, and in the late game, I guess it was the Angels 5. That just flipped by. That just flipped by me so fast I couldn't see it. Minnesota 2. Oh, WNBA scores. You want these? Phoenix right now over Tulsa 68-50 with 7 minutes to go in the fourth. It's the final. Indiana 89, Chicago 82. Let's see. Again, send us an email at WLS860@gmail.com if there's any other sports scores you like to hear, not just college football. And I can't imagine that you wouldn't care about what's going on in college football. It's a wild year, and it just started. So let's get to the end. Let's get to some updates here in college football, because there are updates to be had. At the end of the third is SMU with a field goal late. At 34, it's TCU, third-ranked TCU 42, unranked SMU 34, and SMU is crawling back in this game, folks. Crawling, fighting, scrapping back in this game. And anymore, if you want to win and you have the firepower, crush them early. If you let them hang around in games, it's just not good in this day and age. It's just not good. It is with 10:15 to go in the fourth. Stanford 38, USC 28. With 1:03 to go in the second, it is Ole Miss 17, Alabama 9. Alabama scores on a touchdown for 9 yards, and they're going to kick the extra point. So we'll probably be at halftime, Ole Miss 17, Alabama 10. Right now, Cooper Bateman for Alabama is leading all passers, 11 of 14 for 87 yards and an interception. Derrick Henry from Alabama leads all rushers, 13 carries for 54 yards, and O.J. Howard leads all catchers, all pass receivers, 3 receptions for 46 yards, and the kick is good. And the score right now with 1:03 to go in the second, Ole Miss 17, second-ranked Alabama 10. And they're scoring early here with 8:53 to go in the first, BYU 7, UCLA 0. With 6:29 to go in the first, it is still Fresno State 3 and Utah yet to score. It's a final, Missouri 9, Connecticut 6. It's a final, Texas A&M 44, Nevada 27. It's a final, Oklahoma 52, Tulsa 38. It's a final, Michigan State 35, the Air Force 21. It's a final, Northwestern 19, Duke 10. It's a final, Oregon 61, Georgia State 28. It's a final, LSU 45, Auburn 21. It's a final, number 1 ranked Ohio State 20, North Illinois 13. It's a final, Wisconsin 28, Troy 3. It's a final, Oklahoma State 69, Texas San Antonio 14. It's a final, Notre Dame 30, Georgia Tech 22. The leading passer in that game was Deshaun Kaiser, 21 of 30 for 242 yards and a score. Leading rusher C.J. Prose from Notre Dame, 22 carries, 196 yards and 3 touchdowns. Leading receiver was Will Fuller from Notre Dame, 6 catches for 131 yards and a score. It's a final. It was 7th ranked Georgia over South Carolina, 52-20. It's a final on Thursday. Number 11th ranked Clemson 20, Louisville 17, and Florida State over Boston College 14-0. And it's just going to get crazier. And I'm sure we're going to continue to watch that Ole Miss Alabama's game. That's going to prove to really be exciting. So again, thanks for coming today. Thanks for showing up at our show. We appreciate it. Let your friends and neighbors know about newhomestpa.com, newhomestpa.com, and especially if you live in the Tampa area and you just happen to be planning to go out to look at houses tomorrow, because you know what, that's kind of one of the things that you do, or you and your significant other do, because it's fun and you're a dreamer. Maybe we can make your dreams come true. We've done it for other people. We've made their dreams come true. Maybe we can make your dreams come true. All right, it's time for us to get out of here. Thanks so much for coming to the NCAA Football Scoreboard, sponsored by New Homes Tampa Bay. You can give them a call at 813-770-9452. That's 813-770-9452. New Homes Tampa Bay. Until we see you again, go out there and learn something, love somebody, and for goodness sakes, take care of yourself. We will see you when we see you. Well, hello. My name is Willie Lawson, host of the Willie Lawson Show here on Blog Talk Radio. If I may, I'd like to take a time out and talk to you about some great folks. One of our affiliate partners, New Homes of Tampa Bay. New Homes of Tampa Bay is a special company with special people with a special mission. That mission is to get you, the new construction home buyer, through the process in the best possible condition. What they do is walk you through the process from beginning to end at no cost to you. And they even have something special for you if they let them help you through the process. What they'll do at the end of the process is slide across the table a $1,000 gift card for either Lowe's, Home Depot, or IKEA to start you in your new home. This offer is only good for listeners of the Willie Lawson Show here on Blog Talk Radio or iHeartRadio or Spreaker. You can talk to the great folks at New Homes of Tampa Bay by calling 813-770-9452. That's 813-770-9452. Or you can reach them online at newhomestpa.com. That's www.newhomestpa.com.